much I've already been through. You don't know the place I'm coming from. I've been high, I've been low, fought the demons in my soul. You don't know how much I've already been through. Stand proud, never backing down. Hard work till they put me in the dirt. So you're gonna learn, you get what you deserve. And I stand my ground, never backing down.
Well, g'day and welcome. As I mentioned, we're at the back end of 7 weeks of cancer treatment. 2 days ago I had the final or 35th daily dose of radiation. I've got to say I won't miss it. That daily routine, every day is a different time. You can't really schedule your week very well because they only give you tomorrow's appointment on the day. So the short days, 2 to 3 hours at best, a lot of that's still waiting around, and the long days 10 to 12 hours, which most of us do routinely as part of our work. But to be sitting around the hospital and getting poked and prodded and the like, not so much fun. In terms of how I'm feeling, this is definitely the worst end of treatment. The radiation, you can see I'm quite badly burnt there, dead skin flaking, new skin red and raw, but still not weeping, thankfully, just that strata ointment doing its job. So yeah, the radiation side effects will peak in the next few days in terms of the rawness, and then the fatigue will take some time, and 3 to 6 months for this arm to come good. Chemo, I'm probably nearly through the lowest point of it. It'll be 9 days since the last chemo dose. So yeah, the nausea is starting to lift, and by the end of the next week, hopefully a lot of it's out of my system. So a few things that happened through the week. A friend of mine, Steve, who I went through the original treatment with a couple of years ago, unfortunately he's still suffering with really bad side effects in terms of neuropathic pain and dysfunction from that treatment in 2017. He's also had ongoing taste dysphagia or taste modification from his chemo, and he came across some berries and he kindly bought a pack for me as well. So yeah, during the week he arranged for those to be handed over at the reception of the cancer clinic, and thankfully this time my taste isn't too badly affected, but so we've given those a go. Basically they work by modifying so nearly all food tastes sweet. I'll put the link down below. Anybody who's struggling with that chemo or radiation induced modified taste where everything seems like you're eating soapy cardboard and sweet and sour and spicy all taste the same. So it might be worth giving these berries a try. So I think rather than dwell too much on how I feel and how I'm doing, it's pretty much as I just described and similar to last week. This week I wanted to change focus a little bit and talk about 3 things that I haven't really touched on to date. The first of those is, once you've been diagnosed with cancer and hopefully you've come to terms with it, it's about being kind to yourself, to the best you can through treatment and after. Forgive yourself for any ills, but more than anything, if there's something that you can still do that you enjoy, this is a good time to make the most of it, whether it be hanging out with your pets, with your family, tinkering with your old Ford Ute, anything that you're capable of. Now's really a time to try and shift your focus away from your disease as best you can, and maybe throw it into something that you enjoy doing as a hobby. Might be volunteering if you're up for it, but certainly anything that provides you a bit of quiet and relaxing focus and distraction from your treatment. The second one is, I find that from a mental health point of view, taking control of what you can is really useful. You can't drive the radiation machine or give yourself the chemo drugs, but you can certainly do your best to stay active, watch your nutrition, and I find that at least taking control of those couple of things that I could to the best of my ability helped. It's not always easy to find the motivation, but yeah, definitely try and put a bit of effort into that, and I think the mental rewards are worth it. And the third thing I really want to talk about, and the most important part of it, is carers. If you're the patient, please care for your carer as best you can. Carers are, they're on this roller coaster. They're not the one with the disease. If you've got cancer, you've got no choice. You're in this. You either chase a cure, or you go off and have your sabbatical and wait for the inevitable if you're not going to undergo treatment. Try and find whatever works for you. But you've got choices. Your carer, you could argue they have a choice, but they love you. They're in it with you. They didn't volunteer. Carers come under a whole different set of loads and anxieties and stress, and it's really important that they get as much support as they can. They're not eligible to claim Medicare for helping. Some employers make it difficult. Thankfully, Suzzanne had a very, very cooperative employer and has been able to take time away from work on part pay to help look after me and drive me up and back every day, and 1,000 things, some of which I probably don't even notice at the moment. Carers are the unsung heroes of cancer treatment. The professionals are paid. The patients endure, but do it for our own good. And carers are just in it because of either the love for the person or their own sense of care and benevolence in some cases. There's a lot of resources out there, however, to provide support to your carer, whether it be through the Cancer Council, the welfare workers at the hospital, and hopefully some friends and family as well. So yeah, I guess my final comment on this vlog is care for your carer, respect the fact that they're in there with you, and try and work with them as best you can. I did mention I'll pull up the weekly vlogs now that I'm through treatment, and I can demonstrate to you that I'm still well, as can be expected, and in a few weeks I'll be definitely climbing out of the hole in terms of side effects and working towards a new normal in terms of physical, mental and a whole range of rehabilitation. So I've got a monthly checkup in early December. So I'll give you a really quick update on how we're travelling then and what they found and what's come of the investigations at that stage. And from there, it's 3 months' time, or early in the new year, January or so, 2020, that I'll have a PET scan and my formal 3-monthly review, which is, I guess, where they just, as best they can, ensure that they've cleaned everything up and I'm on the road to that cure, which is essentially a 5-year countdown before statistically I'm through and out the other side. For all those people who have sent messages and have rung me or emailed me and the like, look, I really can't thank you enough. The cards, thank you Auntie Marg, thank you Greta. All those things definitely incrementally raise your spirits and give you a little bit more to fight for. To Suzzanne, this is the second time round. Unbelievable the support that Suzzanne's provided me, and she's right in the trench beside me and goes over the top every time that whistle blows. So thank you very much. I love you. To the oncology teams at Royal Brisbane Women's Hospital, both in radiation and medical oncology, the nurses in the day treatment unit, thank you all. I get lots of smiles, lots of welcomes, lots of people I've become quite fond of. A lot of people remember me from 2017 and certainly there's quite a few people that you grow fond of, because there's always a bit of banter, a bit of conversation, and it makes the drudgery of it all just that little bit easier if you're dealing with professionals that have a sense of humour and can help you through. So, yeah, thank you to all of the team up at the Royal Brisbane Women's Hospital Cancer Care Unit. And Mum and Sharon and cousins and everybody else, friends, just thanks again. We're definitely through the worst of it, and we've got it this time. We've got to be sure of that. So I'll see you in a few weeks' time. In the meantime, stay happy, stay well. I look forward to catching up with you soon. Bye.